Did you get your paper?
Yes, ma'am. Sure did.
You're on your big unicycle this morning.
That's because my little white unicycle is in the, why? Jules has got my white unicycle.
Yeah, Don's had 3. 1 to learn on.
Yeah. Tore it up pretty bad.
Yeah, then this King Song.
Yeah, this is a very nice unicycle. It's just bigger than the other one. It goes longer. It's probably a little faster, but speed is not
your criteria. And this does fit in Ruby's frunk.
Yeah.
It might fit in the frunk of the YOK too. Probably would.
Yeah, and it's got a trolley handle.
But the other one is smaller and fits in the frunk with more ease.
Yeah,
it's also if you come into a restaurant with it, it doesn't take up the space of basically a person down on the floor.
The other one has half the range. It'll only go like 20 miles, maybe 18, 20 miles on a charge. This one will go probably 30 on a charge. So, but I mean, that's just not how I ride them. You know, I ride them to the mailbox. I charge them up. Well, they beep when they get low.
Yeah.
They beep, and then that lets you know you're getting low on charge. And I just charge them up once every couple weeks, probably.
So we got another driving destination today, another day trip destination.
Well, of course we do.
That's right. When you have a new Model Y, you got to get in the car and drive. Hey Donnie, you're back in the driver's seat for Jules today.
Yep, I'm just following directions, Sweet Pea. Where are we going today?
Well, I suggested that we head to Morrow Mountain State Park, which is near Albemarle, North Carolina. It's sort of in the middle of the state. It's a little over 100 miles. Yeah, it's 92 miles, it says, an hour and 55 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll be there a little bit after 3 p.m. Get there with 58% left and get back home with 20%. Although that's not taking into account us stopping or driving around or doing any of that other stuff.
Okay, that's cool, kitten. Way cool. Yeah. While you were telling folks where we were going today, Sweet Pea, there was a stop sign back there, and Jules stopped wonderful. No problem at all with the stopping. However, due to some shrubs and brushes over on the side, I could not see cars coming across traffic coming. So I needed to pull up a little bit, so I kind of tapped the accelerator the way we do. And of course, Jules says, oh, well, it must be clear. And I will say it was actually clear when I pulled forward enough that I said, yeah, it was clear. But in actuality, that was not what I wanted it to do. I needed to move forward enough that I could see. And so it tried to go on across the road, which is what happens when you tap the accelerator. So I would say be a little cautious at stop signs. Unless you can really see really good touching it, you might want to cancel so that you have total control over exactly how quickly it's going to accelerate away from that stop sign. So I just learned a little thing. You know, we've been doing a lot of traffic lights, and it's been, you know, super easy. You don't have to worry about it. But with stop signs, especially out where the stuff grows, vegetation grows and blocks your view, you know, we take all that for granted, our ability to look around and kind of ease forward and stuff. But the car, I don't think it has it's going to be able to do that for a while. I mean, that's sort of like, yeah, you're supposed to stop well behind the stop sign, but you're going to have to almost go into the intersection in some cases to see if it's really clear.
I'm sure it's a fine line for Tesla programming to stop where you feel comfortable the car is going to stop.
Right.
And stop where you feel comfortable you and the car know it's really safe to go. I'm sure that's a really difficult edge case there, the exact stopping distance from the intersection.
Yeah, I could see where it says, okay, I've stopped. Easing forward for better visibility. I could see a message in our future at a stop sign, easing forward for better visibility.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so you know, I could see that happening pretty quickly here. It's all these edge cases. You know, we as human beings, we're just so oblivious to how much we take for granted our ability to drive and make those decisions. And sort through all that information, but the AI is going to have to do that, and I believe it will. I'm a little worried about how much visibility, you know, because I can really turn my head and crank it, you know, past 90 degrees to the right, 90 degrees to the left. I can look up in the horizon, I can look down, I can angle my head pretty much any way it needs to go to see if it's clear. Well, the cameras, you know, you can't twist and turn the car around. Either the camera sees that direction or it doesn't. And I'm wondering, I'm telling you, we'll have to see. Elon Sparkfella, he says he can do it. We'll just have to wait and see.
Let me tell you a little bit more about our trip today. Last summer we went to the Albemarle Music Store, which has a train station, a very elaborate model train station set up in the upstairs part of the store. It's like it's one of those, I think quaint might be the right word, places you go to visit in North Carolina if you're looking to go someplace off the beaten path. So we drove past Morrow Mountain State Park on the way there. That is just east of Albemarle, so our side of the state. And we weren't short on range that day, but we didn't have a lot of time and we didn't have a lot of spare range, so we really couldn't check out the state park. And I hadn't been there in over 20 years, so I kind of had it on my bucket list to let's go back again someday. Plus, right now with COVID, we're trying to pick places we can go that don't really require us. We get the fun of the driving experience without having to worry too much about other people on the other end. So this would be some place we could go in, drive around, see a few views, get a few pictures, enjoy the Tesla, and come back home and feel like we had us a little day trip. So Don and I have had a Tesla since June 2017, and we have not road tripped out of the state much, but we have road tripped all over the state. You know, our thing is like, we're trying to fill up the map inside the state, places we can go during the day. So I wanted to talk for just a minute about what we did to plan our trip today. So we had a little bit of knowledge about this location because we'd been there before, but not a lot. So I went into, on the couch, the comfort of our couch, I went into a Better Route Planner and I put in the address for Morrow Mountain, and it figured out that you know, what it's going to look like. And I knew we could get there and back without charging, but not necessarily drive around over there for an hour or so and then come home. It would be sort of close. So it's always good to know what your plan is for charging, even if you don't think you're going to need to charge. So it basically said charge at the Morrow Mountain Campground for 5 minutes. It had a 20% threshold, and you can go in there and adjust that. So basically it was saying we were going to get back under 20%. So charge for 5 minutes so you can keep your 20%. So Don called the campground to ask them about charging, and I'm going to be kind here. I'm going to say that the person that he talked to had not been asked the question of can an EV charge at the campground, and did not have the answer for that, but she went and she got an answer, and the answer is, yeah, you can buy a day site for $26 and then you can charge. And that's okay. I mean, that's their current answer, but I think, you know, obviously it'd be great if they had a real EV charging plan, something more reasonable than a flat $26 fee, and probably not take up a campground space. Probably have a real destination charger for EVs there would be nice, especially given the location of this park in the middle of the state with no superchargers around and not a lot. The closest true EV charging infrastructure would be Sanford for all intensive purposes. So at any point that conversation could have went better, but it didn't go horrible. So, and I could not figure out how to get a Better Route Planner. I said, you know, avoid this charging spot, to take it off my list, and I was hoping a Better Route Planner would show me other options, because surely between our house and 92 miles in 2020 there's another option, right? So then I brought up PlugShare, and PlugShare now has EV trip planning also. I had not used that before, and I put in our destination, and what they do, instead of telling you for sure you have to stop some places, they showed me all of the available charging options between our house and Morrow Mountain State Park. So there's one at a little park in Denton, which we actually pulled into the last time we were over in this direction. And And then there are two options. One is a good option in Sanford. So Sanford has one, and a park in Denton has one. And we went in and we looked to see when the last time somebody checked in there was, and whether or not they had successfully charged. And it looks like the one in Sanford's getting used all the time. It's a J1772. Feel really good about that one. The one in the park had somebody use it in March that they checked in, so hopefully it would be working. The last time we went through last summer, it was offline temporarily and we couldn't use it. So I really liked that, and I took a screenshot on my computer and sent the pictures to my phone of the addresses and phone numbers of all those places along the way, because here's a little tip. When you're out in the middle of nowhere and you want to use PlugShare or ChargePoint or whatever, and your phone has no LTE, you can't figure out where chargers are. So I've had that happen a couple of times. Now, it's really great tools, and they're only as good as your cell service. So looking at home on the computer, taking a screenshot, sending the picture to your phone was super quick. I spent less than 15 minutes planning at the house, and now I know what our plan is. And then we have bought it. Of course, the J1772 plug came with the charging stuff that came with the car. And then Don also added in a NEMA 1450 adapter, just in case we were in trouble and needed to charge at the campground. That did not come with the car. So we're prepared with what we would need for charging at any of the locations along the way. And we may or may not charge today. We'll see. So Don suggested that
right, I thought first of all, we're gonna get home with 20% or 19%, which is plenty. I mean, we are experienced EV drivers, specifically with Teslas. We know how accurate the navigation is. We're just not, because it's Jules. If we were in Ruby, I wouldn't even be having this conversation. But Jules says we're gonna get home at 19%. Well, I have no problem getting home with 3%. It's a thing, as you will learn as an EV driver. When you absolutely positively know where you're going to stop has a working charger, the fact that the navigation says you're going to get there at 2% or 3% probably isn't a cause. You'll probably not be concerned about that, because you know absolutely. So I absolutely know our charger at home absolutely positively works. So the fact that we arrive home on literally a few electrons left, not a problem, because we're going to be able to charge up. It doesn't work the other way. However, you know, if we were going to stay at this campground and we're going to arrive over there at 3%, then it gets to be a little bit of a different comfort level. You would always want to arrive at some place that you know you've had enough range left that you can leave there and get to a charger somewhere. Now, it may not be a supercharger. You may have to be sitting there for a couple hours watching Netflix or whatever you do. You know, in a Tesla, you just watch Netflix and not worry about it. But, you know, somebody else, you maybe you explore the town or something. All I'm saying is we're experienced. We know that arriving home with a little bit of range. So, in the interest of just complete, we're going to swing by these chargers and make sure they really are online. The two chargers that we would use for a plan B or a bailout plan, we're going to stop by and see if they're really working.
Yeah, on the way over.
On the way over.
So if we need to use them on the way back, we already know.
Right.
Stop at this one, don't stop at that one.
Yeah, don't waste, that's right.
Yep,
or heaven forbids, neither one of them are working, and then we're going to be careful with our range and not go do anything particularly unusual at our destination. You know, we'll watch our range to make sure that we have enough to get home, because like I said, 20% is, I mean, goodness, that's an unlimited amount of cushion, 20%. I mean, we could get stuck in traffic. I mean, there's all kind of things that 20% cover. But, you know, if we were going to arrive home at 2% or 3%, you know, you're going to have to be careful, because it could rain and that could cost you a little additional range, because of the water on the roads affects your range a little bit. So anyway, just again, knowing that the chargers work. Obviously with Tesla superchargers, you know, they pretty much, I mean, they just always work. There's going to be one there, and they may be full, but they're going to work. But the these other chargers that are hit and miss, you know, you just can't. You better think about it. You know, check plug share, and if that doesn't give you a warm fuzzy, then make sure you've got several alternatives laying around. Or in this case, we could actually stop by the two that we feel would be really effective for us on the way out, and if you know, we can make a decision on the way back if necessary.
Yeah, besides, you know, we've plugged in the destination, but as I said, that doesn't allot us for driving around at the destination. And Don knows that his wife will want to go there to take a picture, and oh, let's go check down that road, and oh, there's a bird or a butterfly in that way I want to go see, and we will end up spinning a little bit of range at the destination. So these round trip estimates, they don't count for drive time at your location, which today I expect we're going to drive around the mountain a little bit. So at any point. The other thing that Don had me do was, and we're fixing to go over the Cape Fear River here, so I'm going to angle myself to the side and maybe you can get a little view out the window, is he also had me go into Charge Point and make sure I could get signed into my account, because you know, I also need to be able to pay to use these non-Tesla superchargers. You know, you just don't realize how convenient supercharging is until you have to try to figure out one of these other machines. It's not super bad, but you do have to figure out the payment method and set all of that up. Whereas with Tesla, they've got your credit card on file and they just figure it out for you. You don't have to do anything except for plug into your car. So it's a good, before you set out on these trips, you've got your charging apparatus with you. You've also created your Electrify America, your Charge Point, your Plug Share. You've created these accounts so you're not out in the middle of nowhere with 3% charge late at night, worried about charging, and oh, by the way, now you got to figure out how to get signed into stuff. You want to do it from the comfort of your couch. Even the stuff that's on your phone, get it set up in advance. We're testing out a dual direction, a 380-degree dash cam today. It's Solium, S-O-L-I-O-M. It's actually not available on Amazon anymore, and Don had gotten it for me, I think for Christmas, with the intent of trying it in Ruby. So it's filming forward and it's filming us, and it creates one video with a split. Yeah. Which, I don't know, I mean, I might like it, I might not like it. That's why we're testing it out. It was not an expensive dash cam.
Right, it's for people who do Ubering and stuff like that, because basically it's going to record the trip and record the occupants in the vehicle. So if there's any problem or question, you've got the video file that shows what was going on there. So I missed the fact that it overlaps the thing. I thought it was a dual, recorded both cameras full frame, but it does like a half a frame of the one camera and a half a frame of the other camera, and it puts the two halves together to make a whole frame. But the resolution looks nice. So you can turn off the inside camera and
just point forward.
Just point forward, then you get a full frame forward view. But yeah, we have dash cams for that, or GoPros or something. But so we'll see what it looks like. It runs off a USB micro, so I have plugged the USB charger into the 12-volt outlet, Type A. So we've got plenty of Type A plugs now in the car for our use.
Yeah, I had a little accident with the GoPros I had hooked up yesterday. I got home and I had 10,000 JPEG files and no video. And I don't know exactly how that happened. And so I was like, all right, we need to put a real dash cam in the car. We have another one. The one we had in the Model 3 is currently not in use, and it is a good dash cam. It is a DD-Pi Mini. Yeah. And I know one of our friends is using it. I had the DD-Pi 6, and it's better resolution in it. So it was a little bit of a step backwards for me to go to the Mini, and I'm not in love with it. Totally good dash cam. Just if you're a YouTuber and you want to put really great vivid footage up there of your, you know, if you're going down the road. It didn't quite meet my needs for that, but it's a great dash cam though.
Yeah. How do I make it talk?
I don't know, say bug report?
Bug report, unusual slowdown at
this location.
This location.
Thank you for your feedback.
Okay.
Well, that worked better here than it does in Ruby.
Yeah.
I have a little trouble getting it to actually like recognize that it's a bug report. So what happened there was, and Don knew to expect it, is he's in autopilot and the car slowed down where it shouldn't have. It's like, it's not phantom braking.
No,
it's thinking the speed limit has been reduced when it really wasn't reduced.
Yeah,
and it slows the car down to, you know, be proper with the speed limit. So it's really not phantom braking. And we know of a couple of these spots and we keep on reporting them to try to be helpful. Is correctly stopping for this stop sign.
And this is a good visibility stop sign, so when Jules stops, I can look, and when I tap the stalk,
you're sure.
Yeah, it's good. Of course, I forgot I have to actually turn. He didn't. Yeah, Jules didn't actually know I wanted to make a right turn there, even though we were on autopilot.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those go straight through the stop sign.
That's why I didn't take off. It just sort of like released the released the brake hold and kind of rolled forward. It didn't really go.
So we are in downtown Sanford. We took a little 2-mile detour to come over here to check out where the charger would be. We had plugged the address in.
I think this is maybe it right here. No.
And we're just trying to spot it.
You have to. Oh, there it is down there.
I was gonna say it's also possible it's on the other side of the brick here, but oh yeah, it's right at the street. Not exactly where I would have expected it to be, but that's good. I think putting the chargers away from the building is the right answer. We're not asking for special charging privileges. We just need a working charger that's not iced.
Yeah, so it would have been, for our charging, it would have been better to park in the other parking place, but that's okay.
Sure. Let me get out and let's look at the pedestal.
Let's look at the pedestal and see what it is. Horner.
Right, we're on Horner Street. It appears to be operational.
Yeah, I think it probably would work.
Without plugging in, we wouldn't know, but it does appear to be operational, and it is run by the city of Sanford. And
right.
Yeah, so I think this one is, and this one has activity almost daily, it seemed like, in the PlugShare app. Yep. All right, so this one does say free, and it says 6.6 kilowatts per port.
Right.
You won't be getting no fast charging here.
Right.
Don pointed out there's a train set down here, and is it permanently mounted to the concrete? It's not a geocache or a Tesla caching or anything like that. I inadvertently messed up Dawn.
Yeah, we got out of the car to check out the charger, and Marianne had used my phone because I had better service, and she wanted to talk to Ruby, but she left it on Ruby. So when I got in the car wouldn't go. Jules, used the key card. Well, that's because you have to have the thing. Now we can go.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you have to have the car you're driving. Well, for 3s and Ys,
yeah,
you gotta have your car being the one that's up in the app. If Ruby is the one showing in the app, then you'll have to go in and switch it if you're using the phone to unlock the car.
Yeah.
Sorry, Donnie, I'll try not to do that. Well, that was sort of a weird circumstance. That wouldn't be a thing that I would usually do while we would be out. Go look at what Ruby's doing. Ruby was not locked because I had left my perched near her for an extended period of time, and TeslaFi sends me an email after 15 minutes or 30 minutes and says, hey, your car's unlocked. And sure enough, you go into the app, you see it's unlocked, and you can lock it. So, and that's just something, a little weird thing that Tesla does, that if you leave the key fob near the Model X for an extended period of time, it doesn't lock the car up. And then when you walk away, it also doesn't lock the car up. We were driving by and Don had time to easily pull in, and you can see the Sanford splash pad, which is fairly similar in size to the Fuquay one, has its own bucket that says Sanford on it, and of course devoid of children during the pandemic, which is maybe, yes, it's sad. I'll just say it's sad and leave it at that. I like the spider. Way cool, Sanford, way to go. Looks like there's more over here. I guess this is just playground area. Well, this is an awesome looking park. I'm so sad that the kids aren't able to make use of it this summer. 2020 is kind of like the year that wasn't. So we've had 3 now what we think are phantom breaks, where we kind of came up to the top of a hill and there's our tree shadows over the road, and Jules braked pretty hard, enough we noticed, and then, you know, started moving again. So Don's always on sharp and in control of the car when he's using autopilot, but I think if he wasn't, yeah, you know,
wake me up.
It definitely gave him additional encouragement to pay attention there. So yeah, been a while since we've had to worry about that.
Yeah, well, I think it has to do with the sun angle. Also is really hard on the it's not low in the sky, it's very high in the sky, but it's almost directly overhead, so the shadows are straight down onto the road. Anyway, it's I'm sure it's the top of the hill, it loses perspective of the road, doesn't see lines, and then all of a sudden as it starts trying to acquire the lines, it sees this dark shadow across the road, and it says, oh, that could be something, so it hits the brakes pretty hard.
We're passing through Carthage, North Carolina, and I had Don pull in to take a picture at this mural. We have a picture of Ruby here, so I thought, why not? Of course, as soon as we pulled in, the sun went in, so, but it is what it is. So quite a few small southern towns have the courthouse and a roundabout around the courthouse, and Carthage is one of them, is an example of one of them. Also, Pittsburgh is another city like that. So Carthage is known for buggies, and Don's going to bring me over here to this one more mural that is a commemoration of the town's buggy heritage. He's being very careful with these entrances and exits to parking lot, taking them slowly, making sure we're not going to hit. I'm so used to Ruby, you know, raising the suspension at locations like this that I kind of take it for granted. And now with the Performance Model Y, you really got to give it a little thought. Got to give it a little thought. Don is getting caught up on podcasts today, and you know, Rob Maurer is one of his favorites, and especially with the earnings call later today, Don wanted to make sure he'd heard everything that Rob had to say. And Don's been a little mouthy in a good way over here about some comments about what's going on.
Yeah, well, one of the things that, you know, Rob is saying, and I had read in the paper also, or read somewhere, it said that Tesla's going to be like the largest company to join the S&P 500 in a while. I mean, they talk about Yahoo, but really, nobody in valuation, no company worth as much money, capital as Tesla has joined. Normally, when you join the S&P 500, over a period of months, weeks, or months or years, your company goes from the 1,000th most valuable, profitable company to the 800, to the 700, the 6 to 5, the 4, or 500, and then you break into the top 500 and you get added as the 490th most valuable company in the index. Well, that's all well and good. Well, the thing with Tesla, they're going to join probably in the top 15. So when they join the fund, they're going to be in the top 15 of the most valuable companies. Well, that means their valuation is actually going to have an influence. You know, when you're joining down at the 495th, you have a little, but not very much. But when you're joining the top 15, all of a sudden that could make the returns on the fund shift around a little bit. And of course, these people have to buy. These fund managers have to buy. They have a little flexibility, but the end result is they have to buy. But at some point, they will all have bought. And so then the demand will go down. So then it's possible the stock might start falling because there's no demand for people wanting to buy it at these high prices. Normal investors get involved. And what happens is then these funds, they have to rebalance their investments as the stock goes down. They can't have winners and they can't have losers. As the stock, if they get a hot stock, they gotta sell it as it becomes a bigger percentage of their holdings. And if it's a loser, they gotta buy or whatever. Anyway, the point is they gotta rebalance. And if the Tesla stock comes in high and then falls, then they're gonna have to sell. Well, when a lot of people sell, that causes the stock to go down. Well, if the stock goes down, then that means more of these funds are going to have to sell. And so, this is one of those things where it sounds good, but it's a little bit funny because of the size of Tesla's in the thing. And so, what I wanted Rob to say, which he has not said, is if one was going to buy into a S&P 500 index fund, when was the right time? When is it? Should I have bought last week? Or do I wait and buy next week? When's the right time? Obviously, with the coronavirus, the correct time to have bought was back in, you know, basically February when it tanked. The S&P 500, everything, the bottom fell out of it. That would have been the time to buy the S&P 500, irrelevant of Tesla, because it has regained as the pandemic and things that opened up. It should be gaining, but with this, between the coronavirus, the size of Tesla, I'm really wondering about the whole stock market in this pandemic. It's just there's just a lot of uncertainty here, and I don't know. I guess bottom line is, I'm glad I don't have enough liquid right now that I'm trying to decide to invest in the S&P 500 index fund.
So Don said, why not? Let's just go ahead and plug in and check in and just, it's
free.
It's free. And we want to, let them know that people come through and use these things and count on them and that they're important. And so it's worth our time whether we need a charge or not to do that. It's not that we need the energy, but we want to let them know we appreciate them having it. So this is Denton Monroe Park. It's in the town of Biscoe, B-I-S-C-O-E. We're getting pretty close to our destination now. And go for it.
Yep. I need your phone.
Yeah, the glare's just absolutely horrible. English US is like number 3. So number 3. Oh, down. Okay. And then select. I don't have my card with me. I have a card. Well, that's nice. Tap your card below. Do we really have to have the card?
I think the phone.
No card. I don't have a card, so what am I going to do? So Apple Pay popped up. I put in what I needed to do. Our card is now authorizing. Yeah, I didn't think you had to have the card. And you don't. I have it somewhere. I need my phone to do everything. So using Apple Pay was the exact right answer. Don's got my camera case in his hand. Sorry, Donnie.
All right. It looks like it's trying. It says it's got started charging, it looks like. It says waiting for vehicle.
It says hardware error.
But that might be because of the...
Yeah, it says hardware error. So we are trying with the one on the other side now. You'll see. It errored out. Charging.
Yeah, it says charging.
All right. So nothing. I don't think it was anything we did with the other side. It's just something was wrong with that side, but thankfully not something wrong with this side. Information will hide in 43 seconds, it says. Charging at 4.86 kilowatts. It looks like a little Tesla there. Their animation thing. Sorry for all the glare. That is what it is out here in the sun. Try to get my orange shirt out of the way. But it is charging. So I will leave information on PlugShare, and I don't know why the left side failed, but at least the right side is working.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't even hit a supercharger yet, Donnie, and we're already charging at a charge point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time we were here, the machine was totally offline. The people at the pool were very helpful. They even offered in this small town to call the guy over to reset the charger because it was on the weekend. We said that wasn't necessary that day. They were really, like I said, they were really super helpful. The place to reset it is actually right there by that light post is where the power source is. And anyway, I'm glad it's working today. This park would be really crowded on a normal summer day. The pool is closed and yeah, there's nobody here. So this park is dedicated to the men and women who have served in our armed forces, and DC Denton and David Monroe were two local Bisco residents that gave their lives for our country. So one of our viewers said just hit the big part and it pops out, and then you can grab it here, and you don't necessarily, if your hands are full, have to grab the handle to open. That's the first time I tried it and it worked great. Just in here getting a showing you what it looks like while we're charging here at the charge point.
Yeah, it's charging at 30 amps, I think.
Yep, it says 30 amps.
And it's how many miles?
12 miles an hour.
12 miles an
Yep,
hour.
194 volt.
Yeah, so its voltage is a little low. It's 208 circuit
Right.
probably. So with the air conditioning and everything, it's the voltage is a little low here right now.
Yeah, we are still running the air conditioning if you want your car to charge faster. Let's see what happens when I turn it off. See how it changes, if any. Yeah, now we're up to 19 miles an hour.
Yeah, so I guess we hit like stop charging or something.
Right up here, we would hit. You ready for me to do that?
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
All right, I hit stop charging for Don. He is unlock. I have also hit unlock. Now, so you may not have noticed Don was pretty quick. We didn't want it to time out on us, I guess, but he did stick our J1772
to Tesla adapter
onto the end of the charge point charger cable before we inserted it into the Y.
Yeah, and then when we hit stop charging, I was able just to pull out both the adapter and the wand in one part, and then remove the wand from the J17.
That was when I hit unlock. Then you could disconnect the adapter from the...
Right. Well, I heard the pole, when you hit unlock or stop charging or whatever you hit the first time, I heard the relay or the contactor in the charging pole click. And then I don't know if you hit unlock.
I hit unlock. Yeah. When you asked me to hit unlock, then I hit unlock. So there was two things I pressed in here:
right.
Stop charging and then unlock.
Right. And then when you hit unlock, I heard Jules make a little clicky sound, and I was able to pull the thing out.
Okay. Cool. So last time we came through, if this is the right spot, and I think it is, they were working on this bridge, and it was a real mess, and now it's all finished.
Yeah.
Boy, cool. Yeah, this is how you see the mountains or little curvy hills in North Carolina without actually
that was me.
I understand. It's really gorgeous over here, and you know, rolling hills, I guess. This is how you see a little bit of elevation in North Carolina and still be in the middle of the state. I think Morrow Mountain is like the highest elevation in this, you know, short of being in the actual North Carolina mountains. So we were wrong about the bridge construction here. I mean, obviously that bridge back there was a newish bridge, but this is the one we remember that's right over top of the PD River. I'm going to switch here to the side so you can actually see something. Sorry, Donnie, you can see good, right? When I put the camera right in front of your... Yeah, I should have gone the other way because Morrow Mountain is north. It's to our right here. Yeah, Don is perplexed at how busy this road is, and I told him it is kind of between Raleigh and Charlotte. And also, we're thinking that there are not that many crossings for the PD River, so you kind of got to come this way. And then it looks like this expansion is going to be going on for years because it seems like they're, you know, widening it to a 4-lane, maybe divided highway. In this section, at least, they've moved all of the telephone poles and electric poles, and really seems like they're working on widening the road. And here's our turn for Morrow Mountain State Park. Yeah, it's been since the 90s that I was actually in this park and did anything. We're here.
Campground is reservation on. I don't think there's anybody
right,
there.
But we don't want to go to the campground. Yep.
Some of these things.
That was an interesting little. Right. I was trying to figure it out like you. Some places you have to check in, and others you don't. Usually for camping, it's a must. For not camping, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're getting up there.
Yeah.
It has that Blue Ridge Parkway almost feel to it, this Morrow Mountain Road.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to definitely get some regen going back down.
Back down, yeah. Well, I noticed that we arrived, I guess, at 51%, which might have been a little less than it said. But remember, we went out of our way twice to go check out those chargers. And so that may have taken a % or 2 away. And then on top of that, it stopped at the 51% was at the bottom. Was at the bottom here, not at the top. So, wow, look at this. Like I said, it's very much a Blue Ridge Parkway feel. Way, way over there on the other side of the water is the bridge that we came over where the PD River is.
Yeah, as the road goes, that's close to like 8 miles over there. To get from there to here, you know, the road goes down and back and winds around and comes around the mountain. And so, yeah, that's quite a lot further by road than it is by line of sight.
Said I'd show you the smaller unicycle in the frunk, and there it is. We ordered mats last night. This is a temporary mat so we don't scratch up the plastic and things don't shift. Totally gorgeous up here. So we are here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a dam. We're not anywhere near it, but there's a dam.
It doesn't look like you can get to it either.
So we're at 936 feet here, which is not super high elevation, but it's a little bit. And Civilian Conservation Corps, kind of like Jordan Lake, was involved. And there's rock quarry work was done here, first by the Indians and then later on.
I think that's that black one. That's not true.
Yeah, Jules is on, but Jules is very quiet. Very quiet, considering. We're headed across the mountain, across the park to the lakeside now. Really enjoyed the view up there. Even though we're at a little bit higher elevation, it's not any cooler. Just saying, it's plenty hot. I was telling Dawn though that for a summer view with the clouds and the lush green, because we've had plenty of water, it's a good year for a summer visit. I imagine on a very hazy day with no clouds and you know, maybe in a drought year it would not be as pretty in July. So this is Lake Tillery. Very pretty. There's a cute little bridge here between the parking lot and the actual boat ramp. Tillery hydroelectric project. Apparently there's some hydroelectric power somewhere nearby, probably up by that dam that did not look accessible. Donnie says we can come back in the fall.
Yeah, this is
Yay!
Absolute must do in the fall. I think the color and all that would be very very nice. The trails would be good walking. Hiking, you know, you've got a range of trails that you can choose from.
Yeah, under a mile and then enough to totally wear you out.
Right.
Take your pick.
Yeah, you can get, they got kind of around the base of the mountain, or you can go up over the mountain. So, you know, not, you know, whatever lights your fire.
Leaving the park, Jules says we will arrive at home with 8% left. Don and I are both totally good with that. So Jules bumped up to 10%, and now she's up to 11%. So, you know, because of being on a mountain and the elevation change, it causes the calculations to get wonky for a little bit. But as we go 5 or 10 minutes into the ride home, then we feel it'll be stabilized. And I should add, it's going in the right direction. Higher is better. This gives you a little snapshot of the last 5 miles. Maybe we'll do 15 miles too. And you can see where we were using energy and gaining energy back, and why the car is having to redo the projections a little bit. All right, till next time, PD River.
Yep.
So we are creating a drive-through profile where the mirrors point down, even in drive, not just in reverse. It's a copy of Don's profile. And we're getting some tea here at Bojangles, some unsweet tea. Don needs some caffeine. But this should help us out in some other tighter, this one's not too tight.
Yeah.
But in some other tighter spots, this ought to help us out.
I'm liking it. I can see the rear tire and how far the curb is, and it definitely makes it easier. It doesn't necessarily help with the front tires, but it definitely makes me feel much more comfortable with the rear tires going through the drive-thru.
Cool. And again, all we did was change the position of the mirrors while the car is in drive to point down like they point down when we're in reverse. And then when we leave the drive-thru, Don will just change his profile back to Don. We're coming back through Carthage. Here's the courthouse in the middle of the roundabout from the other direction than this morning.
Yeah, they are working on it. They're doing something here.
Some sort of renovation. So one of our viewers suggested we give the Google Earth view, the more detailed view of the map, a try. So coming through Sanford here, we're going to stop at Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue and get a barbecue sandwich. And we might go for some more ice cream. So anyway, I've turned it on here coming through Sanford so we can see what it looks like. Ruby does this too. I guess I'm just used to the original, more minimalistic view of the map, and I don't even think about turning this on. So we rerouted to Smithfield's, and you know, as you get closer to your destination, typically the map shows you more local information, and it is definitely zoning in on where we are, and it is cool. Yeah, Don and I have learned that locally 421 is called South, or is called Horner Boulevard.
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the right.
We hadn't really realized that before. Well, if you drive through North Carolina, if you're not around here, and if you like fried chicken and barbecue, you really must try a Smithfield's for an economical family meal.
Now your destination
We're
is on the
gonna
right.
go a little light tonight, but sometimes we come through and get the tailgate special, and it basically will feed our family for 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Well, I do believe there's room for something else over here. It's kind of an empty lot.
Yeah.
I zoomed in, way in. Don wants his entertainment. We haven't tried Netflix yet. Looks like we've got full LTE entertainment. Well, YouTube or Netflix? Andy Griffith
YouTube.
or
Just go to
YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay. Well, we haven't watched our video today, so maybe we can put that up.
Well, I ain't gonna watch no ads now.
Well, you know what? One of our viewers asked us to try to see if we could log into YouTube because they are having trouble doing that, and yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So we'll see what we can do. Sign in.
Yeah. I know my password.
All right, we'll be back in a minute. So we put
minute.
in Don's password, and then this is what we got. couldn't sign you in. This browser or app may not be secure. And we can't log in.
Oh, that's no fun.
Oh, Tesla needs to fix this. I'm sure our viewers are thinking the same thing.
Okay, so you just have to go the old-fashioned way, not sign in.
I gotta subscribe to my own channel. I don't know that it'll let us subscribe because, again, we're not signed in.
Let's try.
Yay! Now, normally we would have gotten fried chicken too, but tonight we're just doing barbecue sandwiches before DQ. Well, the quality looks fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I would prefer if it would let us speed up a little bit.
As soon as Don went in to drive, it went away from YouTube.
Right.
Well, hopefully it remembers where we were
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
We're just going down the street to get Dairy Queen.
Did you tell him? 2 days in a row?
Well, my girl, she says, I want Dairy Queen. I said,
did?
No problem. I blame her.
All right, moment of truth. Your reflection's in the screen, so just, you know. Will it put us back where we were or not? I didn't think it was looking too good. At least it remembered that, but...
Did I do that?
No, up higher. Yeah,
Oh,
there you
there
go. I had to pause the video. Elon Musk, when asked by Forbes, email informing him that he is now the 5th richest person on the planet after Tesla shares increased by 300% in 2020 alone, Elon answered, I really couldn't care less. These numbers rise and fall, but what really matters is making great products that people love. Actually, I thought what he was going to say is what really matters is getting to Mars. He probably would have said that next. We don't have time to finish our video.
Well, there's only time for barbecue and ice cream. Then we got to go.
Okay. Passengers want to keep on watching. I know. So, should we pick another destination tomorrow and go for a drive? Or should I let Don do a few minor customizations on the car? Put on his stickers and clean the bug guts off the front. And what else we got to do? Console wrap.
Yeah, console wrap. Clean that smudge off the...
Yeah, we saw the smudge in the B-pillar on the video like the rest of you. And I'm sure you know, I'm sure you guys know that Don and I didn't put that smudge there. So neither one of us has been anywhere near the car with hands that look like that, you know. And you got to be really careful. You don't want to make it look worse.
Right.
So probably a dot and dab sort of a thing would be the way to go. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're going to play the weather by ear tomorrow. That's what we're going to do. Because we got rain almost for sure on Friday, but an increased chance tomorrow too. So we'll see. I'm thinking I got some Tesla caching cars that I still need to deploy and that we haven't been to a supercharger yet with this car. But we'll see. We'll think about it. We're 24 miles from home, and it's looking like clear skies to the house.
I agree.
I just noticed the battery indicator went from green to orange. No biggie. Don't let it go to red, though. No, Jules says we're going to get home with 12% as of right now. We kind of even, if you want to know the truth, stopped looking and caring, but
I did.
Yeah, we're good. We won't have any trouble getting to the house and then plugging in for an overnight charge.
since then.
Yeah, so 259 watt hours per mile since we charged at that little park on the way to the mountain.
Right.
Do we have it today?
Trip A, no.
Yeah, it works a little different in the 3 and the Y than it does in the X.
Yeah, well here we'll just reset this so tomorrow it'll be good.
All right. And go plug her in.
Yeah, she's a little low, but she got home with
It was like 12%.
yeah, we'll see, that's display, and then that's energy, and
12%.
is that what? Yeah, 12%. So she got home at 12%.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake, yeah.
Did you miss us today? Hey, Tuxie. Did you miss Mom? Hi, sweetheart.